I 24F just got back on the worst vacation of my life because of my friend's 23F mental illnesses. TLDR below. I've known Lizzie, 23F for the past 2 years, going on 3. Because we live in the same European country, one with good public transportation, we are able to visit each other often once or twice a month without breaking the bank. I've never had any major issues with her. Occasionally she would snap at me for being a few minutes late to events, which is fine, but never like this. Now, the thing about Lizzie is that she's a serial dater. This woman has a new boyfriend every 1 to 3 months. I am all for women living their own lives, but oh my goodness. She would almost always call me after a breakup crying about how her ex was abusive to her and how there were no good men in the world anymore. I was there for her. I was sympathetic. I thought that she simply got dealt a bad hand when it came to men, but I've recently come to the realization that she was the problem the whole time. Fast forward to a few weeks ago. She just got out of another relationship and, naturally, she was devastated and wanted to take her mind off of things. I suggested planning a mini weekend vacation to France. It would be our first vacation together. She was overjoyed and took me up on the offer. We were able to find a cheap hotel in a very well-known city. One of my friends, Mary, 25F, was also able to come. So, Mary, Lizzie and I took off to France. The first day was lovely, just lovely. The weather, people, food, and transportation were top tier. Lizzie told me that she had plans for us the whole day next day, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Great. At around 8 p.m., after dinner, I told her that we should head back so we can rest up for tomorrow. Lizzie didn't like this. She said that she really wanted to go clubbing. Okay, cool. I told her that we could go, but I'd rather not stay out too late because I'm someone who needs my 8 to 9 hours of sleep before going on an all-day outing. She was cool with this. We go to a bar, and then leave to the club at 11 p.m. To spare you the details, the club was great. Mary, Lizzie, and I are big on dancing, so we were having a blast. It was about 1:30 a.m. when I told Lizzie that we should head home. She said, "No, I want to party." So I was like, "Yeah girl, me too, but if you want me to participate in the morning activities, I need to go home." She sighed and said, "Just another hour." Another hour turned into 3 a.m., and when I asked to go home again, she started tearing up and said she needed this night out after her breakup, so we ended up staying until 6 a.m. The bouncer had to clear us out because we were the only ones on the dance floor. She told Mary and I that the bouncer was super sexist for kicking us out because technically the club closes at 6:15, not 6. She also added that the bouncer, a male, probably has nothing better to do and should be cheated on by his wife. I asked what her reasoning was behind this and she said, "Oh, I mean, he obviously has issues if he doesn't want to see people happy. So he should be unhappy." She was dead serious, by the way. She was very upset that we were kicked out 15 minutes early. Anyway, we arrive at the hotel at 6:40 and just as we were about to go in, Lizzie says that she's hungry. I tell her that I'm heading inside and that she can eat with Mary, but again, Lizzie didn't like that. She pouted and said, "It would really mean a lot to me if you did something as small as eat with me." So, of course, I go to McDonald's with her. The line was super long and we didn't get served until around 7:20. The whole time in line, she was telling us about her exes and how they all said she was too much to handle, and how that was super sexist, because all women have emotions that men need to understand and they always refuse to educate themselves. Haha, okay Lizzie, we eat and arrive at the hotel at around 7:40. Lizzie says that she's setting an alarm for 9:30 a.m. so we don't miss breakfast at the hotel. I told her that I don't want to eat breakfast and I'd rather sleep in. Lizzie didn't say anything and we fell asleep. Sure enough, her alarm goes off at 9:30 and she tells Mary and I to wake up and get ready for food. I said no, I want to sleep for a little while longer as I didn't get much sleep. She turns to me and exclaims, "You're ruining this vacation. Seriously? It's just breakfast," and I say, "Yeah, it's just breakfast. I don't need to eat, and I'll eat later." Lizzie becomes quiet and leaves the hotel room for breakfast. Mary joins her. I close my eyes to go back to sleep and they return at about 10 a.m. Lizzie is dead silent. I ask when we're going to leave the hotel to get our day started and she says, "Well, you already ruined it, so." At about this time, I'm pretty fed up with her. I say, "Okay," and go back to sleep. Lizzie and Mary end up sleeping till 1 p.m. and I get up a little earlier than them to get ready. They take 2 hours to get ready, so we don't end up actually leaving until around 3 p.m. The whole time, mind you, Lizzie isn't speaking to Mary, or Mary asks me what's going on, and I just sat there like, girl, I don't know. We thought that it would be great to start our day thrifting and then heading to a cheap cafe for lunch. When we arrive at the thrift store, Lizzie sits on the floor and stares at her feet. I ask her what's wrong, and she replies, it's just that. You and Mary disrespected my time and the day is ruined. We have no time to do the things I planned. I'm also in a lot of pain due to my illness. I apologized and asked her what her illness was because this is the first time I'm hearing about it. She said, you know, I'm just generally mentally ill and sometimes it gets worse. I apologized again, saying, oh, Lizzie, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were diagnosed with something. What can I do to help? She replied, I'm not officially diagnosed, but I know I have OCD and multiple personality disorder. I've been going to a new therapist every other week, but I haven't found one that will give me medication. They're all old assholes that don't understand my issues and my trauma. I want to eat. I'm tired and I have a headache. I called Mary over and told her that we're going to the cafe a little earlier than planned. We reached the cafe and I purchased 2 coffees as a treat for the girlies. One for Mary and one for Lizzie. I don't drink coffee. Lizzie glared at me, saying, you didn't even ask what I wanted. You just bought me a coffee? Seriously? I apologized and offered to get her a tea or water, but she rolled her eyes and went to sit at a table. Mary was extremely stressed and told me that she didn't know how to help Lizzie, and asked me what to do. I just looked at her and shook my head. The day goes on. Lizzie is mostly unresponsive, aside from her complaining about Mary. Now, Mary has done nothing wrong this whole trip. Admittedly, she likes to stand at attractions a little too long, but we're on vacation and it really isn't a big deal if you want to stare at the Eiffel Tower for 30 minutes rather than just walk by it, which Lizzie wanted to do. Lizzie, whenever Mary would leave to use the restroom, would latch on to me saying, she's holding us back. I'm so pissed at her. Why is she taking forever? It's just a stupid insert attraction. I told her that we're on vacation and we should accommodate everyone's wishes within reason. Her response to that was pouting and going back to being quiet. The deal breaker, though, was what happened between Mary and Lizzie. Mary was trying to be very tolerant of Lizzie and her mental issues, but this is the single thing that broke it. Mary wanted to get cash out of an ATM. The ATM was about a 5-minute walk away from an attraction Lizzie wanted to see. Lizzie argued with Mary that we didn't need cash, and that it would take up too much time from their trip. Yes, the 5-minute walk to the ATM was too much of a walk, lol. Mary said something along the lines of, okay, but I want cash, so I'm getting cash. You can come with me, or you can act like a baby. Not everyone will give you the princess treatment like Op. Lizzie was very unhappy with that, as you can imagine. She turned to me for help, but I shrugged and said, I mean, it's just a 5-minute walk. This was around 6 p.m. Soon after, we headed to a restaurant for dinner. The whole time, Lizzie didn't say a word. She pointed at the menu items instead of saying what she wanted to the waiter. During the middle of the meal, Lizzie burst into tears. Mary and I tried to cheer her up by offering to buy dessert and maybe go to a spa afterwards, but Lizzie wasn't having it. She returned to being quiet while we finished our meal. On the way back to the hotel, she said, I'm sorry, that was one of my multiple personalities. I can't control myself when that happens. You two have given me so much stress today. I couldn't help letting a personality out. Bro, she then says, this is very triggering because my ex, Edward 33 meters from 3 years ago, didn't understand how to deal with my mental issues, and it looks like you two don't know how to deal with them either. You need to better educate yourself about mental illnesses because you don't know which one of your friends or coworkers have them. Mary and I just looked at each other with wide eyes. Like, how do we respond to that? We arrive at the hotel. Lizzie and Mary are dead quiet, scrolling on their phones. I hear Lizzie sniffling every now and then, trying to hold back her tears. Both of them are texting me, talking about each other. I can't believe, Mary said. Who does Lizzie think she is? For about 2 hours. I finally say, okay guys, so what are we doing tonight? And both of them sigh and turn in the opposite direction of me. As you can guess, we didn't go out. At around 10 p.m., they decided to give a go talking it out in front of me. Both of them expressed how much pressure they were feeling throughout the trip. Eventually they made up, but by then it was too late to get ready because the bar we wanted to go to closed within an hour. On the way back home, we hop in a car from a carpooling app. The guy picked us up at a specific location, and was set to drop us off at a specific location. Lizzie thought that the drop-off location was too far away from her home, so she told me to tell the driver to drop us off directly at her house. I was the one who ordered the carpool. I told her no, because the driver was only supposed to drop us off at the drop-off location on the app, and if he were to drive to her house, it would be an extra 50-minute drive for them. Lizzie became quiet again, and after about an hour in the car, she texted me, "You're being a pushover. You have to stand up for yourself in situations like this. It's very unfair for him to drop us off so far away from my home. You need to speak up." To which I replied, "No thank you. We agreed on a drop-off location and it would be unfair to change it last minute." As you could guess, she didn't speak to me after arriving home. We had another altercation a few days later, but I think this post is too long to talk about and not too relevant. I don't know what to do. I've never met someone so difficult to be with. Ever. Where should I go from here? Should I confront her about her behavior? TLDR. My friend turned into a toddler during our first vacation together. She neglected to tell us that she has multiple mental illnesses that she doesn't take medication for, and gave my friend and I the silent treatment for over half the trip. She broke down in tears twice because things weren't going her way, and she made me be the middleman when the other person on our trip decided enough was enough and got into an argument with her. She then called me a pushover for not changing the pickup location for our carpool, which isn't even possible last minute.